Welcome back. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how to rush modern tanks as the United States to get them as early as 1943 if done correctly. Now, this doesn't have to just work for modern tanks. This can also work for light tanks, medium tanks, and heavy tanks as they work around the same type of path. However, for me, I prefer to go down the medium tank route since a medium tank destroyer can normally pierce the same level of a heavy tank. So a couple other really important things. First off, this is mainly meant for multiplayer. If you're not in a multiplayer match, you can still easily do this, however, it's going to take a lot longer. Second off, you want to always have the Together for Victory DLC on. I'm pretty sure it's Together for Victory, or it might be Death of Dishonor, but I'm positive it's Together for Victory because you can get license request. A license request in that DLC works like this. I mean, if you play multiplayer, most time hosts have this DLC on, so it doesn't really matter. But you can go here to request license production. I'm just going to speed ahead by about a day really quick so they deny it, and you can go to request license production. What you would want to do is get the light tank 1s, and then after you finish researching the United States' version of this tank, then you want to cancel it and get light tank 2s. This will give you a 20% research bonus on each level of tank you're getting. So that would knock off 20% off those two tanks, and then if Russia actually accepts the tank treaty and rushes towards medium 1s or 2s, you can request the license off them and essentially have the same tech level under tanks as Germany would, especially if they're a player working on bonuses, which you're going to need everything you can get if you're the United States. So now that all that has been said, let's go ahead and get into this. So the very first things you're going to be doing is getting these two techs right off the bat. The first thing you're going to be doing is researching light tank 2s immediately. The second thing you're going to be doing is going under electronical, mechanical, engineering. After you have these two selected, you're going to go under WPA and start working on that. Now the WPA is done, you're going to go under Committee on Techocracy. For your XP, the first thing you're going to be wanting to do is use this bonus on Industrial Concern, Electronical, or Electric, I can't speak today, I'm so sick, sorry. Electronics Concern is what you want to get with this very first 150 political power. Now, once your electronical mechanical engineering is almost done, what you want to do is immediately follow it with this one right here, mechanical computing. Now, the reason I'm showing you guys this instead of just doing it like I did the other time is I want you to see something. These actually take off research time of anything you're researching currently. So this is going to knock 2% off of this 94 days once it's done, making it 93.89. So it knocked off about 4 days. Next, you're going to go into here once that's been done and go and start researching mechanical computing. After your Committee on Techocracy is done, you can do any focuses you wish. I would recommend, however, going down Reaffirm Monroe to get some extra research bonuses because you do need 150 more political power to keep doing this. Alright, so we have our very first light tank done, and I just don't know why I didn't think about this earlier, but I went ahead and turned on license request from France, and I went ahead and request it here. Now, here's the difference this 20% is actually going to make. Normally it's going to take 176 days, and just because they accepted it, it knocked off around 40 days just because we got a license from them. So next you're going to be going under the M3 Stewart. Alright, we have our next 150 political power. What you're going to want to do is go under here, go to Tank Designer, and go ahead and get either... Really, you can get any of these. Personally, I would recommend the Heavy Tank Designer because that's going to give you a 5% bonus for armor and 5% bonus for heart attack, but mostly because it gives you a negative 10% bonus for all future armor tech when you're researching it. Now, for these bonuses, you have to get them before researching the next tank, which is why I said to do that one, because you're only 30 days away from researching medium 1s, and you need all the bonuses you can get. Next, you're going to be going to the next version of Reaffirm Monroe Doctrine, and once this is done, you're going to continue for the rest of the game down these trees. Even though they're going to have huge amounts of times before you're going to be able to actually finish each one of these computing machines, it is totally 100% worth it. Keep doing these because you have the 50% bonus on everything. Do not research any support equipment whatsoever. That will remove the bonus, and they will actually be used for support equipment instead of giving you a huge bonus to all future research for everything. Not just tanks, I mean everything. Alright, we have our M3 Stewart done. Now, because you are the US and you need all the factories you can get, go back to your license production, and now that you have it done, cancel that light tank you were getting from France. Don't forget to cancel it. Next, you're going to be going under your armor again and researching medium 1s. This is going to be about a year and a half away, so you'll get it about mid-1937 or somewhere in that ballpark, maybe even 38, but you'll see how this works in just a minute. Now that you've got another one of these done, you're going to be going under decisions and going to give refuge to German scientists and then Italian scientist. Don't spam click them if you're in multiplayer. People will ban you because it stacks the decision to ridiculous amounts and can give you up to 80% bonus in somewhere in that ballpark. So don't spam click them unless you want to get banned. Alright, now that you have another 150 political power, you're going to go back to decisions and do improved worker conditions. This doesn't really help you too much, like towards what you're trying to go for. However, it is incredibly important because even though it takes down some of your factory output and it increases your consumer goods, which is really bad for the US, it'll also improve your stability, which will eventually give you plus or negative 5% consumer goods and actually boost your political power gain, dockyard output, and everything else, which I think this was added with Waking the Tiger, so it's not that important. If you don't have that, go ahead and get a political workhorse. Otherwise, with your next 150 political power from the very last South America focus, you're going to want to get a political silent workhorse, because even though it says it only gives you plus 15%, and you're like, oh, that's only 15% of 0.15, it will actually boost you up once you're up to 100% stability to 0.50 political power a day. So the next one you get, you need to do silent workhorse. Alright, so now that your first medium tank is done, you're going to start researching the M4 Sherman. So you got the first medium tank about a year and 3/4 early, so now you're going to start researching the Sherman. Now this is how big of a bonus and how big of a difference this really makes. After we're about to get the final research over here, look at the difference this is going to make for researching medium tank 2s. You go from 476 days to 444. That knocks a full month off of research plus all the other bonuses. So at this point, all you're going to be doing is continuously researching tank research past this point, just straight down. Alright, so like I said, next you are going to go for the T20, which if you research that, that'll be done about 600 days. So as of right now, you are a 2-year ahead of time currently in tank research, especially if you are a United States in multiplayer. This is going to be insanely important, especially because all your allies can license it off you. Now, one other really important thing right now you need to understand, if you are playing in multiplayer and Germany has done the tank research bonus to get to medium 3s around this time, what you can do is research the M18 Hellcat, which is a tank destroyer variant of this tank. Now, the piercing on it is 110, and the armor of a medium 3 is only 94. So right now, you could technically pierce the armor of a medium 3 tank. So this would be extremely great in using to counter German armor, especially, like I said, if they've rushed medium 3s. Alright, so as you guys can see, we just finished our T20 tank, and now we began researching our Patton, which was only a few days ago. So we have 745 days left until we have modern tanks as the United States. We didn't use any research bonuses or anything except for that very first one. And remember guys, if you guys use this and then you actually go and look at the allies or the Comintern and any of them, if they have any medium tank research already done before you start researching, make sure you request that license from them before you actually start doing it, because 20% off of about 600 days is a huge bonus, especially when you already run on a 34% bonus and you have essentially a 50% bonus for all the tank tech. So guys, hopefully this video helped you out, and especially if you guys are playing multiplayer, and don't forget those things I was telling you about in the very beginning. Remember to get license production requests as soon as possible from people. Second off, do not forget to immediately rush the tanks and then try as quick as you can to go for the last version. Now, if you guys, one other thing, if you already have the problem where the enemy has modern tanks, if you're in a game where Spain is allowed to get them, or anything along those lines in multiplayer, if you go under here and you look, the modern tanks have an armor of 136, and then these guys have a piercing of about 120. So what you can do is, if you've been 1 division training, you can actually upgrade the gun on these tanks right here, and you will have a pretty powerful anti-tank gun that can probably wipe out the Pattons. Now, if some people were curious about this and you want to go down the heavy side of the tree, you can. It takes around the same amount of time. However, it's really not that beneficial. At this point, you've already got most of the medium tanks. These are way easier to produce compared to a heavy tank, since the United States has no chromium deposits. What's actually better to do is, once you get a Sherman or something along these lines, then research the heavy tank here and then get their tank destroyer gun, because their piercing is 140, tank destroyer armor is 130. So actually the heavy tank 2 right here actually could technically pierce the armor of a modern tank. So it's best to do it the way I've shown you guys, because it's easier, it's more what the United States has available in resources. but it's really entirely up to you guys and your type of playstyle. So thank you guys again for watching. Tell me if you guys have any comments down below what you guys would like to see me try to show you guys how to get for next, or towards getting early next, and I will do my best. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Stay awesome.